Welcome back to the Rhody Impact Podcast. I'm your host, Connor Lewis, student athlete intern here at URI. And today, I have the honor of speaking with Coach Laurie Fiet-Melnick of the women's track and field team. Coach Laurie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you so much for interviewing me today. I'm the head women's cross country and track and field coach at
I was
URI.
right then. So I accidentally misspoke, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, like I always, it's both sports. It's making sure that it's, head women's cross country and track and field.
Yeah. Okay, so I had it right the first time. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out later. It's okay. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I appreciate you being here with me. So we'll just jump right into it. So NIL, transfer portal, these are important terms in college sports today. Can you tell me about your relationship with those terms? Can you tell me what it means to your team, how recruiting goes, all that stuff?
I honestly think with what's going on with everything, like you just mentioned, there's just so many unknowns. And it's not like we discuss it a lot because we're waiting on what's going to happen in April. We're waiting on what's happening with roster limits. We know that, URI buys in and we're at 45 for track and field for next year. But honestly, there are so many unknowns that we don't know right now that I'm just, waiting to find out what is going on, like within the NCAA, within the country, and what's the future going to bring.
Okay.
So there's definitely challenging times because when I have so many emails and so many people looking to come out for a program, and now the standards are harder if we're going with 45. But that is, like I said, there are just still so many questions that are really unanswered, and hopefully that we can kind of figure out where things are going so that women do have opportunities as well as men. And I am concerned about Olympic sports in general, that, I don't want to see that our Olympic sports suffer. Obviously, we're a huge feeder program into the Olympics. Everyone, I'm sure, watched the Olympics this past summer in France, and the numbers of people that are competing at that level come from Division I institutions, Division II maybe, Division III. So
Well, I mean, you mentioned as far as recruitment goes, because recruitment's a big thing, especially in track and field and cross country. What are the things you look for as far as intangibles go? Not necessarily athletic based, but more like intangibles that you see, on a player.
Well, we're looking for a well-rounded fit. We're looking for bringing in an amazing student athlete into our program, and we have an amazing institution. Obviously, we were ranked the number one public Ivy. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Number one public institution in New England.
I was just saying, I didn't know URI was an Ivy yet.
Based on the Wall Street Journal, and but honestly, so we're recruiting solid academic students. Our priority is academics and athletics. We had 44 out of 55 women make Dean's List this past semester. Cross country GPA 376, I believe, and track 354. So we want to continue and bring in top-notch student athletes who are going to represent URI in an exemplary manner. So we're excited about our future. We have a great class coming in next year. We're still recruiting, obviously, and we're having a really solid year this year we have 14 new freshmen this year and 3 transfers, and indoor right now we have 2 new school records. We have 20 new class, 10 actually I need to check this. 10 new class records, and so many new personal bests. So just having a great indoor season, but always looking for the recruit that's going to be well-rounded, and really the term is student athlete. You know what I mean? So
100%. Well, I'm sure that's going to be important for a lot of people who are interested in attending URI to hear that stuff, because it's important for recruiting to understand that you're more than just an athlete. You have to focus on the grades too, and being a great student is a part of what URI is all about and part of their culture. So I think that's important for a lot of recruits to hear. Now I want to jump back to the women's part, because you talked a little bit about women's sports and your concern for that. Women's History Month is right around the corner. This episode might be out during Women's History Month, for all we know. I don't know. You know how the schedule is. But What can we do as a community to help support women and women's sports?
I mean, I think we can continue to emphasize girls and women in sport and participation at a young age and opportunities. So, what are the opportunities that are out there for young people to get out there and exercise and to just to really hopefully become a student athlete or become be on a sport. We had, I mean, this is back in January, but we had a wonderful clinic where we kept it free, and we had like pre-K through 8th grade.
Oh,
And it's for girls and boys, but it's a clinic where um, girls can get out there and check out track and field, and check out what it's all about. And we had close to 200 kids.
wow.
I think we had 195. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And that was a big community service thing that we raised a lot of food for Rhody Outpost. So it was all free, but food donations. But I guess it's always about opportunities for girls and women to get involved in sports. Or I mean, I'm proud to say we've got some alum that are coaching, and we need to continue to see women coaching. Steph is the head at Steph Ulisny, or Steph Domin is the head at Carthage College. LJK is at Bowdoin, and we have many others coaching at the high school and other levels. So very important that we have representation and that women and girls have opportunities.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it on the head there. You do a great job about talking about that stuff. Women's flag football is in talks to become a varsity sport around all 50 states. And I'm kind of going off the cuff here, but I just want to get your thoughts on that. As a women's coach, as you're sort of an advocate for women's sports all around. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that'd be awesome. I know I saw that like when I was watching the Super
Bowl. Yeah,
the
Super Bowl. Right? Yeah, I immediately thought of that when you were talking about it. I'm like, I might as well ask her what she thinks about it.
Well, like Connor, when this isn't even that. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm old and I've been coaching here a long time.
Well, you're 35.
Oh yeah. So when I got here in the early 90s, so in the 80s when I was in high school, in like 81, we did not have girls cross country at Farmingdale High School in Long Island, and it's a big high school. And so I remember, asking, and then it's like my dad, we had to like go and talk to the principal, and proud to say that I started that high school cross country, not track, we had track, but cross country program at Farmingdale High School. But that was like, you don't even think that wasn't like the era of like, obviously Title IX is 1972. That was like 81, 82, in that era.
Yeah.
So, and we've come far, but absolutely, why shouldn't women get the opportunity to play flag football, right? Yeah. If they want to.
Yeah, I agree, and I think there's some states that are doing it already, and I know that I think it's called powder puff. I'm not super familiar with it, but there's some high schools that do it, and I think it's going to be a great thing. I think if it gets registered in all 50 states, like there's such a huge national push for it. So I think it's been going strong so far, at least to say the least. You're a very successful coach, to say the least. The A10 it kind of fears you. I would say you're such a successful coach. Is there like a secret formula to your winning ways, or what is it?
Well, I don't know.
You can tell me. I won't tell anybody else.
Not sure. Thank you for your kind words. I think that we haven't won in a while, and like we're looking forward. But it's not all about winning. It's about consistency, and it's about the process.
Yeah.
And we want to develop student athletes to be the best, obviously, academic person. You're here to get a degree, and to obviously we want to attract high level talent, quality.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So I definitely feel it's like I said earlier, it has to be a fit, for URI.
Yeah.
And like what's amazing is you see the growth from freshman year to fourth year, or maybe it's the fifth year.
Right.
And we want to get people to the highest level possible, nationals, Olympic trials, etc.
Right.
But I definitely think it's consistency, and it's a student athlete that's going to buy into, obviously, to training hard, to everything from sleep and taking care of yourself. And
that's hard for college students, especially the sleep part. I know.
Yeah. But critical if you want to be at that high level, and we've got women on the team that are in the PharmD program. That's a 6-year program here. I mean, we have women that have come out and are dentists and doing all different things, and engineers, and they're obviously pharmacists, and the list goes on. But definitely it's buying in and just trying to get everyone. You got to work hard, and you have to take care of your academics, your athletics, and you got to take care of your body.
Yeah. I mean, you make it sound so easy, but I'm sure it can be challenging. It's not easy at all. But I thought this was kind of a cool little fun fact that you were on the coaching staff in 1998 of the World Championship cross country in Morocco. Can you tell me a little bit about what you brought to that team and what you sort of learned from that experience?
Well, it was an amazing experience. I was fortunate to get that appointment, and I was the junior leader. So they have like the senior women, and then the junior, and my juniors were, some were like freshmen in college. You're like pretty much like, I think, under 19, and some were in high school. And it was a whole amazing experience, because you're flying, you meet up in like Kennedy in New York, and then you're flying to Marrakesh, and I remember we touched down in Casablanca, and then we flew, to Marrakesh, and it was an amazing experience to be. That was my first like world cross country championships, and to be with like USA, and to meet people from other countries, and just you're there as like a manager. You're not really coaching them because they have their own coaches, but you're there. You're there as like you're their leader, you know what I mean? Like, so, and then I was learning so much from the head women's leader, Kim Deist, at the time. And then we were obviously all together with the men's staff as well. So it's been so long ago, but I mean, it's a memory that I will cherish for the rest of my life. And we got to like go to the souks and like check out all the spices and all the things down in the market.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
So you had to explore a little bit. You weren't just there. It was not all business.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing.
We did get to kind of check out, what it's like to be in Morocco.
You got any crazy stories from Morocco, or was it kind of more chill?
I just remember eating, and the cats were like roaming around.
Really?
Oh yeah, like just some random cats. We actually have 3 cats, so I love cats. But
okay, so it was a good experience.
Yeah, it was a good experience. And then just meeting, like I said, the staff, and meeting the elite athletes was amazing. You know, and so, but like I said, that's a long time ago, and then but I do love to travel, so it's amazing to be able to get an experience like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great story, honestly. Coach Laurie, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but we have sort of a tradition on this podcast where I like to ask whoever I'm talking to share a little bit of a fun fact that's not necessarily about your sport, but more about who you are as a person. So if you have anything you want to share about your life personally, or maybe make it more personal for the people watching. You're not just some big scary coach. You're more of a normal person.
Well, let's see. What can I share? I mean,
I'm putting you on the spot here, so I am sorry about that. But I like to spring it on people.
Most who know me know that Coach Melnick and I have been married for 30 years, and we have Molly, my daughter, who's 23, who will be going to grad school next fall, and she graduated here in 2023 with political science and a Spanish degree. And then we do have Adam, who is a junior on the men's team, and very proud to be a mom, and being able to coach. And I that is just one thing that I always encourage when I see young women coaches, that you can do this. You can do this. Like our swim coach, Lily, had a baby about 7 or so months ago, and she's our head swim coach. And I'm like, Lily, you can do this. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So those are like my personal things where I try and encourage, like if I see young coaches, because it's a tough profession. Obviously, we know it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're away a lot, but those would be just like, about my family, who I love, and I love what I do. I love when the alum come back to visit.
Yeah.
And as even like Thor always says, like, you know, they're always a part of your family, you know, because like we just had Hannah Madison, who was a 2017 grad, and she's an ocean engineer.
Wow.
She was over at the Bay campus. She's recruiting for her firm because they had like a big job fair over at GSO. And then she just surprised us this week. And she lives in North Carolina. And like I said, she was there stationed, you know, her company flew her in to try and recruit at this job fair.
Really?
So that's like what's so cool is like when you see
it kind of comes back full circle.
Yeah. I love when and I know I'm rambling on.
No, please. I'm very interested.
But
keep going.
The biggest thing that we're so excited about that Dr. Parlange has pushed for is we will get a new outdoor track. And that is supposed to break ground hopefully this summer and be up and running in 2026. I was here when the track was condemned in 1995, and we were hoping that we would get the track a little sooner than that. But
it's okay.
But absolutely,
only about 30 years too late. That's okay though.
But I mean, everything that Dr. Parlange has done, you know, for URI is amazing, and so we're looking forward to, you know, being able to attract more student athletes because we'll have a facility, and we're just looking forward to just being able to host meets. So that will happen. We don't know exactly when the track will, you know, but hopefully by spring of 2026 we'll have a facility.
Well, that's great, and again, thank you, Coach, for taking the time. I know out of a very busy schedule, you know, you're in kind of the thick of the season right now, so I appreciate you taking time to sit with me and talk with me today. I want to say thank you all for listening. This has been Connor Lewis, signing off.